Organizers for the Detroit River Days Festival have announced their plans for 2011. I'm Jason Rzucidlo, reporting inside the General Motors Renaissance Center. This year's festival is scheduled for June 23rd through 26th along Detroit's beautiful riverfront, and it all wraps up with the Target fireworks.
The Detroit RiverFront Conservancy, it's my pleasure to welcome you here today. I want to thank all of you for joining us today as we officially announce the programming details for the 2011 Detroit River Days presented by the Detroit RiverFront Conservancy. So it's a great day for us. I want to acknowledge Mayor Bing and County Executive Facano. We're going to introduce them more appropriately in just a few minutes. Also want to, I think David Page was to be here, but I haven't seen David yet, but we have David Page supposed to be right there next to John Blancy, but he's not there. But we do have some board members of the Conservancy, so if you can stand and get acknowledged, that would be terrific. Mr. Blanchard, Evelyn, I saw a few others, so thank you for being here. This is a milestone year for us, as next month is going to mark the 5th anniversary of the River Days Festival on the Detroit Riverfront. We considered not having an event this year because of the weather, but Mayor Bing has promised us that even though there has not been a spring here this year, that there will be a summer. So that's right. You play for everything else. So we're going to give Mayor Bing credit for the weather that's going to take place this year, though. The Conservancy is proud to be involved with this. We're a nonprofit organization. We began the River Days event about 5 years ago to give us an opportunity to showcase our spectacular riverfront for our entire community. Some of you may remember a few years back, and I know there's some folks here from Windsor, Detroit and Windsor jointly held the International Freedom Festival that was culminated in the fireworks. Once that ceased to exist, Detroit kind of watched enviously for many years as our friends across the river celebrated the Windsor Summerfest. About 5 years ago, when we brought the festival back, we were really able to celebrate the terrific riverfront that we have now and share with our friends in Windsor this new River Days Festival. The 2011 River Days will take place Thursday, June 23rd through Sunday, June 26th, with the 53rd annual Target fireworks produced by our friends at the Parade Company serving as the grand finale on Monday, June 27th. So it's going to be a spectacular show, as it always is, from Sandy Pierce, Tony Michaels, and the folks at the Parade Company. I'm thrilled to say that we're going to partner a lot with our friends in Windsor. We're going to talk more about that during the course of this. Faye will talk about that as well. I think that the Detroit Riverfront development is probably one of the most significant developments that have taken place in the city of Detroit over the 300 years. As we kicked off the inaugural festival 5 years ago, we had done about 2 miles of Riverwalk, including the plazas at Rivard and Gabriel Richard. Since that time, we've continued to move along with our development to the point where now we have about 80% of the entire East Riverfront done. Recently, last year, we opened the Dequinder Greenway as well, which has been a terrific addition. Just last year, we added another 6 acres of the Milliken State Park. Terrific greenway, the first state park in an urban area, so that's been a great addition as well. And this year, continuing this path of progress, we're thrilled to have the new Detroit-Wayne County Port Authority terminal and dock that is opening up just west of the Renaissance Center. So that's a big addition. It's going to attract and strengthen economic and tourism opportunities, and we're going to have the opportunity this year to incorporate that facility into all of the River Days, continue to show off the things that are taking place on this spectacular riverfront. It's not the only thing taking place. We have the new University Prep Math and Science High School, the brand new Roberts Riverwalk Hotel and Residence, and a lot of other things that are continuing to make good on our commitment for not just green space and public access, but economic development along our waterway. Looking ahead towards the end of this year, we're going to embark on the remaining pieces to finish the East Riverfront. The initial East Riverfront is going to be from Joe Louis Arena to Gabriel Richard and the other side of the Belle Isle, 3.5 miles. We're going to be starting all of the missing pieces of it this year that we haven't been able to get to. The Unioral site and others with the leadership of Mayor Bing, George Jackson, so we're going to be able to get working on those hopefully in the next 18 months or so be completed with the East Riverfront, and then be able to turn our attention to the West Riverfront all the way down to the Ambassador Bridge. As the riverfront continues to grow, so does our programming. In addition to River Days, which is certainly our signature event, the riverfront also boasts a wealth of programming year-round. Day-to-day activities such as the Carousel at Rivard Park, the Diamond Jack River Tours, bike rentals and guided tours from the Wheelhouse Detroit, all kinds of terrific activities. And on a weekly basis, we have things ranging from yoga to the Riverwalkers Club, an Audubon Society, and even a Riverfront Canine Club. So we got something for everybody on the riverfront, and that's every day, all year round, but even a particular highlight on for the River Days Festival. Now, before Faye comes up, I want to talk about the sponsors for the event. They're highlighted in your program. None of this could take place without those terrific sponsors, so make sure that you acknowledge them when you see them and thank them for their support. I'd like to now bring up, if I could, the outstanding CEO of the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, who does a terrific job and is going to share with us a lot of the exciting events from the River Days Festival. Faye Alexander Nelson.
Thank you, Matt. It's a pleasure to be here. Good afternoon. I'd like to, though, take a moment to acknowledge Matt. He has done an amazing job from a leadership standpoint. He's been the chairman of my board for 8 years, and I just want to let you know that a lot of why we are here today is because of Matt Cullen. So would you join me in acknowledging Matt? Always good to acknowledge your boss, huh? Well, the 5th anniversary of River Days is such an important milestone for the Detroit Riverfront Conservancy, and River Days has been a huge success from the very beginning, thanks in large part to how truly unique this event and other events are with regard to other events in the region. Now, it's set against the backdrop of one of the busiest international waterways in the world. River Days is one of the only festivals that can entertain and inspire crowds both on land as well as on water. And so that, coupled with providing visitors with the rich history and the flavor of this city, is why we're so pleased to be able to bring River Days back again for the 5th year. Now, as Matt mentioned, we are thrilled, even more so, to include the Detroit Wayne County Port Authority Terminal and Dock within our riverfront footprint this year for River Days, allowing us with even more so closer scrutiny on the activities from a maritime standpoint. Beginning with our 2 tall ships, the Appledore 4 and the Appledore 5, which will be docked at the Port Authority dock for visitors to tour all weekend throughout the festival. Nearby, we will have the U.S. Coast Guard, which will have a cutter vessel docked at GM Plaza for free tours, and will once again educate visitors with search and rescue demonstrations right in the Detroit River. And then, of course, we're bringing back Typhoon Tommy and his world-class team, which will return to the festival to entertain visitors with the Detroit Marriott jet ski demonstrations. And then topping off our activities on the water will be our 5th annual MGM Grand Detroit Parade of Lights, which will be held on Saturday, June the 25th. I'd like to extend a special thank you to the Detroit Yacht Club, who have partnered with us for all 5 years. So we're so pleased to be able to bring back the MGM Grand Parade of Lights as well. Now, this year, we'll be lining up another spectacular display of more than 30 decorated sailboats and power boats to light up the Detroit River on Saturday night for everyone to enjoy. And then our other bookend of the festival is the Milligan State Park on the east, which allows festival goers to enjoy an ecological tribute through a number of activities, including the Meyer Kids Zone, which teaches kids that it is easy to be green. And it's programmed by our wonderful partners at the Parade Company, and there'll be a myriad of activities associated with this event, which include face painting, recycled arts and crafts. We'll have earth-friendly games, imaginative storytelling, puppet and magic shows, and this will all be located at Rivard Plaza as well as the State Park. And this year, I'm pleased